Hello, 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 my lively people. It's your girl DJ coming to you live with a new artist, a new guest. Today, I am so excited because we're going down to the nitty gritty of Mrs. Alexia Timothy, aka Intelex. What is up, girl?
Jay, how are you? Thank you so much for having me on your platform. It's such an honor. Queen to queen.
Let's go. So I gotta tell the people how me and you met and interact in the whole thing. Shout out to Mr. Ambition himself. He was on my show Case before. If you ever seen it, definitely check it out on the YouTube page again. He introduced me to Miss Intellect, and I was like, okay, let's see what she was up. Let's see how she do for women's history. Next thing you know, I got to talk to you and whole nine. You know, she was at work, but I was respectful with the time and the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, so you are the master of intelligence because girl over here is rocking with 2 associate's degree. You got 1 bachelor's degree. You already have your master's. And currently, as we speak today, she is studying for a second master's degree. I said, I can't even. I can't even focus with one darn assignment. I'll be burned out by the time I heard I even have homework. So I definitely got to know who the heck are you? It was just, moment we first linked, it was an awesome, crazy bond. But that was really just the number one thing that got me instantly from you. The girl is a boss. When I say boss, I mean capital BOS. The chick got her own business. The chick does poetry. The chick got her own writing. The chick does her own network system. I mean, there is a full blown of a huge essay on her resume. And I just don't know how we're going to have 30 minutes to fit all that time of what you do. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I can't wait to just get down to this nitty gritty of this interview. I'll tell you that much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am introducing Miss Intelex. Now, you got to definitely tell us, who the heck are you?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a woman. Yeah, so just a little background. I grew up in a Christian household, and I was raised by my mother, my grandparents, and I have 4 sisters, 2 brothers. So I have a pretty big family, and I've always loved to learn. That was one thing that really drew my attention growing up. The excitement of learning something new. I would be the first one up in the morning to go to school. Everyone else is like, go back to bed. It's 5 o'clock in the morning and you don't have to be to school until like 8. But yeah, I was always excited. So learning was something that always came easy to me, which is why when we talked before and I'm like, yeah, I'm working on my 5th degree. You like, wait a minute, what? Yeah, so and I enjoyed learning. So one of the things that kept me going was the joy of it itself. And it was also a place of freedom. So, when I was younger, I did suffer from abuse and things of that nature. So one of my outlets was going to school, and one of my outlets was writing. That was like my happy place. So that was part of the reason why I delve into school and also into God, so my foundation is God. And then learning about God helped me to learn more about school and the need to educate myself on the things of life and people and my name is Helper. That's what my name means. So I love to help people. Even when I was in school, I would grow up and they'd be like, oh, she's so quiet, but she loves to help and she's so helpful and things like that. And I've embodied that, that's who I am. So, yeah. So I've always wanted to be a teacher since I was in second grade. And the last semester of college, when I was getting my bachelor's degree, was the first time I didn't think that teaching was something that I was supposed to go. I wasn't supposed to go that route. So, I prayed about it. And then I don't even remember how the opportunity came up. But when I got to close to graduation, I seen like an email or something that had Eastern University. And the seminary to Eastern is where I applied. And I decided to do the dual degree where I'm getting the social work and divinity. And when I got there, originally, I didn't know about the social work part. But once I found out, I was like, oh, I can get 2 degrees in one. Yeah, let me do this, so I did. And the program is set up to where the first year you start at Eastern and then you leave and get your social work degree somewhere else. And then you go back and finish. So just to backtrack, originally Eastern was the first school that I went to. And because I wasn't able to stay on campus and the travel was crazy because they're in St. Davis, Pennsylvania, and I was living in Jersey at the time.
That's right.
Crazy commute. So I decided to transfer and then I went to community college. I was only supposed to go there for a semester or 2, but I like to finish what I start. So I stayed and ended up doing a dual degree there for journalism and education.
Nice.
And then I transferred to Rutgers and got my bachelor's. And because most of my credits transferred from the community, I only was able to do a year instead of 2 years or 3 years.
Wow.
Finished quickly. And then once I finished with that, I did childhood studies with a minor in psychology and then transferred and then went to Eastern, the seminary, which is Palmer Seminary. And then I went back to Rutgers to get my master's in social work.
Got
So
you.
that's pretty much my educational.
That's the educational part. That's the job itself. That's the whole art itself because I was telling you too, like, my history a little bit of my education. I went to community college myself too. I graduated from Raritan Community College, woo woo, and I got my degree in digital filmmaking. And was going to continue to school, but life happened and the whole nine, and I was like, hey, it's okay, maybe it's time for the break. Wasn't so happy too. And remember, I told you I was not happy that I made that decision. I was like, I want to keep on going. But now knowing it was God's way of saying, sometimes what I have for you is not what I have for you, if that makes sense. And I'm like, huh? But when I think about Jeremiah 29, verse 11, for I know the plan I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper and not to harm you, but plans to give you a hope and a future. And when I take that and I apply that, I'll be like, oh, huh? What? Oh, no, I don't get it. Because that verse will always be versatile. It'll always change depending on your livelihood and your journey. And I bet you, in your form and fashion of your own journey, have always had moments where you're like, I want to do this one day. Maybe I should do this. Wait, huh? No. That's just part of life. Life is a whole huge roller coaster, which we were just talking about not too long ago, of multiple things where you'll react when the situation occurs. And I love your inspiration of how you use God to incorporate through not just your education, but you put God first in your work, in your schooling, and the whole thing. And I want to know what got you and motivated you to say, let me put God first? What made you get to that point?
That is a very good question. So,
Yeah.
growing up in a household where a lot of people would say, okay, this religion is forced on you or things like that. For me, it wasn't like that. I always had that curiosity, that passion to know who God was and why I needed him.
Mm-hmm.
And God speaks in different ways, and the way that he's spoken to me over the years is my reason for staying in a relationship. Just like any relationship that you have to spend time to cultivate it, to make it grow, to flourish. You have to know what uh feeds that person's interest, what makes them upset and happy, and things of that nature. And that's the same with God. Like, I think most people put God in a separate category, like, oh no, we can't have a relationship like I have a relationship with a person. No,
Mm-hmm.
it's a relationship, you know what I mean? And that's what makes it flourish. And for me, you know God has been the main consistent in my life,
Mm-hmm.
apart from school, apart from the things that I have going on. God has always been there, so even when I don't have anything else, that's who I have, you know what I mean? And, we're born with nothing, we leave with nothing. So even the things that we are meant to be moved on and left for other people, for our legacy, so that
True.
they can continue. So, my passion and my desire to have a relationship with God is mainly him pulling my heartstrings to
Got
have it.
you.
And so instead of me running, which I did it sometimes, sometimes, okay, because this is what I want, and so we had our little chorus back and forth, but any relationship does go through its ups and downs. So
Got
that without that foundation, I would be nothing.
That's
So
true.
yeah.
It is about having, but if you notice, that's what is so beautiful and insightful. You need your fundamentals. Now, I know there were some classes or probably even personal projects you had done. You were like, I am not so fond of this, but I gotta get through it. Was there ever a part, any form from your agency to your poetry writing? I mean, any form of your livelihood where you was like, I really don't like this. How am I gonna get myself out of this? you know, do you feel like it was a lesson, or what, when was there a trial and tribulation that made you say, I don't know about this one?
Whew, when wasn't there? Okay. Let me pick one. Hold on. Listen, I'm thinking about that right now. Ooh, I like school and all, but I'm ready for a break. Yeah, so one of the things was, you know, I have dreams of things that happen. Some people may call it deja vu, things like that. So one of the dreams that I had when I was younger was going to Eastern. And when I was in high school, that was the only school I applied for. And so when I got there and I started but couldn't finish, I was like, all right, you said I was supposed to be going to Eastern. What's going on? So that was back in 2013. I didn't start seminary until, well, I just went back, but 2017. It took a few years basically. But yeah, that was kind of like a trying moment. Like, okay, so you said I was supposed to be in this school, but then
Mhm.
can't finish, and I got to go here to a community college. And at the time, I was a little self-righteous, like I don't want to go to no community.
Yeah.
I want to go to a university or a college. So that was more of a humbling experience for me, where it's just like, you're no better than anybody else just
Mhm.
because of your education. The same professors that teach at the community teach at university. So you get in the same, you know what I mean? And it was more so a transition to where I was trying to move faster than God, and he was trying to slow me down.
Mm.
And it's just like, what you need while you here, you're going to need in the future. So I wasn't looking at it like that until I look back. So, you know, I'm appreciative of the process, but not while I'm in it. While I'm in it, it's like I can't see, you know, it's like a child in the driver's seat. You can't see what's in front of you, you know. But yeah, that was definitely a trial for me.
I love how you illustrate that we are, but if you really do think about that, we are all just a child.
Yep.
Even when we claim we grown, we still not grown.
Mm-hmm.
We can be 55, 65, we still not grown because there's still something blocking from us from really actually seeing. But there's that inner child of us that wants to know. It's nothing wrong with wanting to know. I think it's just being patient for that moment to say, well, you know, I'm in the car seat. I can take myself out of this car seat, but some of the time it's not good. You know, you got some of them kids where they know how to like take themselves out and just go. But then you got God himself saying, hey, not right now.
Mm-hmm.
Until I say. And I feel like that's the part we be like, no. Like we have those little tantrums like a child. We have those moments where we like, when are we there yet? I'll be lying if I'm not saying that, but it's the truth. Like I'm also in that boat myself where I'm just feel like I'm just stuck in this car seat. Like, when am I gonna just get out? But sometimes
roll the windows.
I know you playing with the windows, you're looking around and the whole thing, but I think that's the part where we do miss and enjoying that ride, where we do get to see, like, you know, something different outside, or actually hear something different, play something different. You know, although God just wants us to be still. Some of the time we just got to be still and actually be entertained by what's already around us. And I'm currently learning that. I'm currently at a stage I'm just like learning that. I'm like, okay, as I go, I still get moments where I'm like, are we there yet? but I'm learning that right now in my livelihood to wait and be patient, you know, because, you know, sometimes it can get really hard. Sometimes it can get really hard, especially, and there's times where it can feel a little bit lonesome sometimes, you know, because you don't know, you know, who you're going to cross paths with. Are they going to be with you? Are they going to ride with you? Are they just going to be in there for that moment and then they're going to be gone? You know, it can feel like, geez, what is that next and everything? But I feel when you just continue to just be still and keep that faith in mind, like we're eventually gonna go somewhere and coast somewhere. It makes you feel like, I could chill just for now. But yeah.
I'm also learning that learning to appreciate the process.
Yeah.
A lot of times we're so focused on what was or what will be that we don't embrace what is. And I think for me, I was doing one or the other. I'm even looking back like, okay, why didn't this happen? Or why did this happen? And in the future, like, okay, I want this to happen, but what's happening right now? What's good right now? You know, and, you know, a lot of times when we're going through, we don't realize, like, for instance, a person who works out, somebody that's trying to lose weight or tone up, it's like, okay, what do you have to do? You got to eat right. You got to work out. When you're tired and in the middle of the workout, you're going to stop. That's not going to bring results. You got to feel the pain. You got to sweat. You got to do all this extra stuff. In order to build muscle, you have to put pressure on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, in order to get better and to be better, you have to go through something. You have to test it. You know what I mean? If somebody asks me, oh, can I borrow your car? What's your driving record? I'm not just going to give you. Like, I'm not going to give you my car if you are in the accidents every other week. No, we ain't doing that. You know, we got to test people. Like you
You right with that one.
your word is
Right.
your bond, but I'm not just gonna take your word. I'm gonna take your word, your action, and your patterns.
Yeah, that's true.
We
That
have
is
to
true.
test it up.
That is a true one. And, going back, the whole thing and the essence is understand and just being willing to learn and see the essence of everything. And I definitely like value that from you. I mean, let me show the people your Instagram, because not only is she just this inspirational person right here in the screen, but like the girl is so inspirational on to your Instagram page as well. Number one, I love it, love it, love it.
Thank you, kind.
It's so perfectly organized. And you do have a soon showcase coming pretty soon, which
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you guys. It's not only yourself, but it's you have two people co-hosting this particular event. And definitely, if you guys want to do this awesome talent show, hit her up. That's what's the point of this interview. But I'm
Yeah.
excited. I truly, truly am honored that you also invited me, which we are definitely going to speak on to details of a little bit later after this. But I'm so excited. You're going to be showcasing multiple different talents from art performances, businesses of such. So I'm like, okay, go.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
My business partner and I were going to be doing this talent show every month. So,
Oh,
depending on how many contestants there are, if we can't fit them in this time, they'll go to whichever month they're available to perform.
nice.
And it's a grand prize. So,
A grand prize. You ain't got to tell me twice. You don't have to do what I got to do. Say
hey,
what? Girl, I'm in it. Don't have to tell me twice. I'll do what I got to do. What you want me to do? I got every type of talent. Talent on top. I'll do everything. I know. I'm just too much, but definitely shout out to you. I can't wait to definitely witness this one as well. And you promote not only just your works, but you promote multiple talents as well, as you had on my type of page as well too. It's just so cool how you had interacted with some of these people. Well, some, and you found others that, like they said, some inspirational quotes. I mean, the whole thing is a real true connection of what you go by: passion, foundation, just really wanting to level up and just keep on the growth. I love that about your page. So if you guys ever just wanted some type of just mental just break or such in that fashion, especially on social media, definitely follow Interlexx on our page. So worth it. So I had another question for you as well too. Did you want to perform for us today? Because I know you got some wisdom words for us.
perform something, it's a little something. I'm silly, y'all, This is why this works, because we're both silly. We be over
Exactly.
Are you ready?
I am solely ready. This is your.
All right. It's called original. I'd rather be an original than a copycat. Fitting in, I mean, blending in, I mean, well, it's all the same to me. It's pointless and takes too much effort to conform to the norms of society. What exactly is the norm? Somebody please let me know, because I'm confused. Is it the half-beaten middle-aged wife that's the norm?
Mm.
Or is it the single mother of 5 with 1 unborn the norm?
Mm.
Is it the overweight secretary or the underweight high school student? This is the norm? No, thank you. I'd rather be an original. Copy written with no carbon copies. Imagery is bliss, sort of like planets aligning in due time. Not everyone will get it. Yeah.
Mm.
Some of y'all just missed it. Don't worry. It'll click in a few hours or decades with shades of gray, clouds. No minds in the gutter here. Let me make that clear. Right mind, straight grinding. hustle and flow. And like the waves of the ocean rocking from side to side, with every moment creating another ripple of life that's uniquely designed. I like that. It's like my mind is on another wavelength, strength based, focused. The art of life is beautiful with all the arrays of the rainbow. Blue and purple rain showering my pale horse, feeding it with color, blooming with vigor, ready for war, ready to fight. All right? You feel me? Huh, maybe not. But I bet your mind does, going on this mental roller coaster, zipping in and out, up and down, left and right, right,
Right.
right. That's right. We talking about originals. I think I clearly defined in my mind my unique design of life as I know it. Copywritten with no carbon copies. I'd rather be an original than a copycat. Sincerely, the intellectual poet.
Sincere, period. That's what I'm talking about. And that was original. Let's go.
Nothing wrong with being original.
Original. Let's go. Oh man. Oh man, I just love it. That just made me ooh, I gotta hear that on the EP. You can't just do that to me. Thank you, Lord, for blessing her. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. So you definitely got to tell me the process of what made you just say, I gotta write original for like, come on, tell me.
So, all right. So I wrote that like almost 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at a point where I was coming into myself and learning what it is to love yourself completely and wholly without trying to be validated by others. You know,
Mm,
their opinions and caring about what people think or how you're going to affect someone else. And it's more like, no, I'm unique. I'm original. Nobody can be me. I can be
mm,
authentically me by myself because if I'm not me, then who's going to be me? Nobody. So that was part of the process. And, you know, I like to play with words, you
yeah.
know. So it's like, okay, oh, I like that. And, you know, so the process. But yeah, it was more so kind of like a welcome to Alexia the Intelex, you know. It was like Alexia meets Intelex basically. So it was more so me coming into confidence with who I am as an artist and as a person and bringing them two together.
Oh, seriously. And I see why. I 100% see why. The girl just kills it every single second. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. You are the reason why women's history is so historical. Shout out to you.
Thank you. No.
The award of original goes to the original. No, I get so excited every time I get to talk to you, and I just love just picking your brain. I mean, this whole entire time, just learning and connecting and just being embraced by you is just one of a kind, and it's just so out of this world of what you do next after next. And I get excited just hearing and just thinking like, oh my goodness, she's going to come up with something even more incredible. So it's just that Miss Interlexx, I know I've been holding you down onto this page, but I gotta ask you my one last question. Oh man, why it has to go? But definitely, please, 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 how do you, the beautiful intellectual, fundamental, and God disciple? Saw that one, right? How do you change the world with your beautiful self? How do you do it?
Whew. Well, I can't do it without God's strength, for one. Whew. But honestly, I feel like art is life. And art not only has changed my life, but I know it's changed so many other lives. And being able to have a platform to help others have a platform is what makes me keep going. Being able to help them build a legacy. And, I don't really like the spotlight. I would prefer to be behind the scenes. So to lift other people up and help them to hone in on their craft. And that's a part of my gift, is to serve, you know. And so, I do it for the people. I do it to serve, to help, and to build. Yeah.
You're just so sweet. Yeah.
It's not, and it's definitely not easy. Like, life is work.
Yeah.
It's never promised to be easy. It's just, it's you work, and whatever you put the work in for, that's what you get out. You reap what you sow. So you can't expect one thing without doing those steps to get that one thing. So there's no
True.
shortcuts. You know what I mean? And success is wealth. And wealth is not money. Wealth is passing on knowledge, passing on that generational wealth of knowledge and education in order to create, millionaire mindsets, billionaire, so I'm passing on generational wealth through my knowledge.
That's true. That's 100% real. Because you definitely did it with me, and I'm so glad I had you. Once again, it's Alexia Timothy, aka Intelex.
Oh, man, listen, go back and record that as my slogan. I come on like,
Go out the whole crowd. Yo, it's Intelex out here, yo.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yo, I definitely gotta hang out with you because we too funny, silly.
So I know you said that, I have a lot of things in the works. And one thing that I'm working on right now is a podcast. And you definitely need to be on one of the episodes.
Say less. I'm definitely down. Like, come on, let's go. And it's official, period. Stamp, print, and go. Sign, delivered. Let's go. No, seriously, I just had so much of a blast, and I can't wait to see more. And I can't wait to participate in any of your projects as well, because I know for a fact we collabing for real. For real. That's just definite and period.
I wasn't asking. It was.
But definitely, you guys, it was your awesome girl DJ with Mr. Intellect. Yeah. Again, let me show them the Instagram page one more time. Let me show them. There we go. So right here, definitely, please, if you guys are interested and wanting to just get some ideas, get some tips, or even better, just connect, or just want some inspiration, just follow her right here on her page. She has all awesome events that goes, all awesome inspirational quotes and videos, and most importantly, she's just a cool person. So definitely, please, awesome, and definitely celebrate Women's History. I know now this is the last week, but it doesn't mean that this is the end of Women's History. Women's History is every day. Black history is every day. History itself is always on a record. It's never pausing. And because of that, I thank you for being that awesome representative of Women's History for this month and ending us with an awesome, cool celebration. So once again, you guys, it's that time. We're going to love one another. We're going to hug one another virtually, safely, and positively. But most importantly, we're going to do anything, everything intellectually, intelligently. Boom, boom, bam. Damn. I thank you so much for spending the time onto my page. I truly, it was just an honor.
It's always a pleasure talking with you, getting some medicine of laughter up in these bones, keeping me young.
For real. Now you're still young, girl. What you See, girl, you still young. You ain't no thing over here. You know better than that. Saying you see the whole thing, acting like you still walking with a cane. You ain't walking with no cane, girl. You still young.
Oh yes, yes, yes. That's definitely a pleasure being on here. You created a great platform for artists and people to share their voice, and you know what you do is awesome. So thank you for being that queen that brings the fire in those laughs. Yes.
Let's go. So you guys have an awesome time. And next week you'll be seeing some new awesome poetry for Poetry Moms. Let's go. See you guys next time. Love you.